guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashley if you are new, and if you are new, please go ahead and stop what you're doing and do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button as well as that notifications bell so that you and I can become acquainted and so we can do things like this on the regular. So I'm actually coming in, well, first of all, I'm coming in giving you pajama chic today, girl, because it was more important for me to get this video out than it was for me to find something to wear for the video. So with that being said, we're going to do a little bit of a fashion review, a little bit of a fashion history about probably one of my top, I would say top 3 or top 5 fashion houses, and that is none other than the house of Goyard, Maison Goyard, that is. If you guys saw my last week's vlog when I went on my day trip to Chicago, you saw that I went to the Goyard boutique inside of Neiman Marcus, Chicago, and that was my first experience in store in an actual Goyard boutique. So I want to share a little bit about my experience. I also want to talk a little bit about the brand, its exclusiveness as well as its we'll say inclusiveness as well. And we'll also show a little bit of we'll share a little bit of an unboxing because I did pick up something quite small and I'm ready to use this item. So I need to get this video out. So again, forgive my pajama chic, but let's talk about Goyard. So Maison Goyard was founded in 1853, making them one of the oldest fashion houses in history. Surprisingly, they're actually a year older than Louis Vuitton, which they get a lot of comparison to based off of their design and based off of their overall aesthetic. But believe it or not, Louis Vuitton is actually the son, if you will, of Goyard, because Louis Vuitton was actually established in 1854, and Goyard, of course, came a year prior to that in 1853. So they started it, girl. Just a little tidbit, just a little FYI. And when they started their brand, they started off making luggage, specializing in luggage making, as well as trunks and different fashion accessories. They also have a huge affinity for pets because they incorporate dogs in a lot of their designs and also in a lot of their illustrations. And they were the first fashion brand that actually made pet accessories. So another little tidbit about Goyard. Now, Goyard is a very exclusive and elusive brand, and the reason why is because number one, they don't have any e-commerce. You can't go to Goyard.com and purchase a St. Louis GM. You can't purchase anything from their website. They don't sell online. They don't do e-commerce. Now, they do have a website. You can go on and you can look at different items, you can look at the collections, you can learn more about the brand, that sort of thing. And you can even put an inquiry on and somebody will email you and you can discuss pricing that way. But in addition to the fact that they don't engage in e-commerce or they don't do e-commerce at all, you also can't see their pricing online either. So it's kind of similar to Chanel because of course you guys know you can't purchase Chanel handbags or shoes or costume jewelry or fine jewelry online, but you can at least go on Chanel.com and you can see pricing at least. But with Goyard, you can't do that. You actually have to like submit an inquiry form and have somebody contact you via email, and from there you might be able to get some pricing. So that's one of the reasons why they are able to remain so elusive. In addition to that, they are not a corporately owned brand. They're actually family owned. So unlike a lot of the big fashion houses like Louis Vuitton, who's backed by LVMH or who's owned by LVMH, or most of the high fashion houses are backed by a big corporation, Goyard is family owned and operated. So they have a smaller, I would say, organization. So because of that, they don't produce as much as a lot of the other girls. In addition to that, they just recently this year implemented a quota system similar to Hermes, where you can only get 5 items per year. And this is worldwide, no matter what boutique you're in. You can be in the boutique in Paris, you can be in a boutique in San Francisco. You can only purchase 5 items. And this doesn't matter which category it's in. You can, it could be a card case, it can be a handbag, it can be a scarf. Once you exceed those 5 items under your profile, you're done for the year, girl. So why they do that and they try to minimize, I would say, their product on the street is because of counterfeiting. So they are very much like most fashion houses, like most luxury people. They're very against counterfeiting and they try to limit their items on the street due to the fear of counterfeiting. Surprisingly, I've seen more counterfeit Goyard as of lately. Now, the reason why Goyard, in my opinion, has become more popular as of late is because a lot of celebrities, especially rappers, a lot of musicians, they're obsessing over Goyard. It's like they just, a couple of years ago, it's like all the rappers are talking about Goyard, Little Uzi Vert, Little Baby. Essentially anybody with a little or a big in front of their name, they love Goyard. 2 Chainz is a huge Goyard fan. And I remember even back in the day, like when I used to watch the Kardashians, girl, they loved Goyard, specifically Courtney and Chris. I even think like Chris had like a Goyard desk agenda or desk setup. So Maison Goyard is famous for their logo or their monogram, but surprisingly, instead of their monogram featuring a G for Goyard, it's actually featuring a Y. So they took the Y from the name Goyard, and they essentially made their monogram or their logo based off of that Y. And then inside of the inscription, you'll see Goyard and that sort of thing. Goyard Paris to be exact, but yeah, so that famous Goyard logo is actually not a G, which obviously you can see it's not a G, but it's actually the Y from the word Goyard. Now, the pattern comes in, their canvas comes in, I'm not exactly sure the total of colors, but it comes in a burgundy, a red, a gray, a white, a black. There's also a black with tan trimming. They also have a sky blue, a navy blue, a green, a yellow, and an orange. I think I covered all of them. Some of them are in the category of special colors, which essentially is every color with the exception of the black on black or the black with tan. Now, the reason why that's important is because the price is higher for special colors than it is for what they consider their basic colors or their standard colors. So I think if you go with like a special color for whatever you purchase, I'm pretty sure it garners an increase of about $200 to $300 as far as the colors are concerned. Now, fun fact, years ago when I got into Goyard, the color red was considered a basic or a standard color, and it was the same price as like the black on black or the black on tan. And the reason why is because the color red was in the French flag. But I want to say maybe about 5-6 years ago, they made red a special color. So now the price is up on that one too. Now, Goyard, another reason why they're very exclusive is they have very limited boutiques. For example, in the US alone, they only have like, let me think, again, a standalone boutique in Miami, in Bal Harbour. There is a standalone boutique in New York. You can also purchase Goyard in Bergdorf in New York. That's where I got one of my handbags. I think I got my green one there back in the day. And this is back in the day when you didn't have to pay tax if they didn't have the store in your state, girl. So there was that. So in addition to New York, there's a standalone store. I believe the Dallas store is standalone. I don't think it's inside of Neiman Marcus, but I could be wrong. But they have Goyard in Dallas. They have a Goyard boutique inside of Neiman Marcus in Chicago, which is where I got my piece from last week. There's a standalone store in San Francisco, as well as a standalone store in LA. And girl, that is it. Those are the only places you're gonna be able to get Goyard in America, girl. So that also leans to their exclusivity. Yeah, so because they're one of the more difficult brands to source and they don't, participate in e-commerce, there are there are a lot of fakes out there. So there's that, but in addition to that, a lot of the resellers, i.e. Fashion File, they charge a little bit more than retail, if not a lot more than retail, because people don't really have the ability to go and reference their pricing. There's like Purse Forum and some kind of like more underground references or resources, I would say, that you can kind of use. And like I said, you can always just call the store or go online and do the inquiry form to get pricing. But I oftentimes when I see different Goyard pieces for resale, like from pre-owned sites, I see that they're charging more than retail. For example, this Goyard St. Louis GM that they have on Fashion File. So just make sure that you're doing your due diligence. I'm a big proponent of pre-owned luxury, however, not above retail. Specifically for things that you can go to the store and purchase, like if it's something limited edition that that these brands no longer make, then I can understand paying a little bit above retail, paying a premium. But if it's something that I can just go to, you know, to Miami and purchase and they still have it like readily available, then I'm not paying more than retail, girl. So it's just one of those things. So for me, when I initially got my first Goyard St. Louis, this is back when Barney's was still a thing. So I actually purchased mine over the phone from Barney's and just called in New York. No, it was Boston. The Barney's in Boston. So that's where I originally purchased my my black with tan trimming Goyard St. Louis GM. I purchased my green one from Bergdorf over the phone. And again, this is back in the day when you didn't have to pay tax, girl, if they didn't have the store in your state. So whew, those were the days. And then of course I have my my Senate GM. I got that from Fashion File, but I paid below retail because, girl, if you know me, you know I'm not paying above retail. So there's that. And then of course my most recent purchase was from the Goyard boutique in Neiman Marcus in Chicago. So that was actually my first time being inside of a boutique. It was very interesting from an experience standpoint. You kind of have to wait outside. They only allow like 1 or 2 people in the boutique at a time. They're a very small boutique. And from what I understand, their actual like stores are very small as well. So it's not gonna be like 5, 6 people in the store at the time. So you definitely have to wait your turn and that sort of thing. And with that being said, let me show you what I got. So here is the bag. I did already take off the ribbon, but I already showed you guys that they have this little sticker on there because this year they're celebrating 170 years of the establishment of the House of Goyard. So, green bag. Their signature color is yellow, so of course they have yellow on the interior of the bag. And then the box is green, which is one of my favorite colors. So this is how the box looks, and it's like a texturized box, and it actually has their signature Y. Their logo, you would think it would be a G because they're the House of Goyard or Maison Goyard. However, for whatever reason, they use the Y for their symbol. So you can't really see it. But anyway, there's very subtle Y's all over the box and like this textured fabric. And of course there is the ribbon. She packed it up very nicely. Yeah, so this is the item. I did already take the ribbon off and I already took it out the box because your girl had to do a TikTok unboxing. Let's go. So this is the box and let's just show you what I got. Like I said, it's something very small. They have it covered in this signature orange. And I picked up a card case. So this is, of course I would drop it. So this is the Goyard card case in the orange color, or they call it the Supplice if I'm not mistaken, but it's the Goyard card case, girl. So I picked it up in the color orange. This little thing is the whatever kind of tag. So there's that, Goyard. And then this is my piece. So I've been wanting like a piece of orange Goyard. If you know me, then you know I love a small letter good. I have a Paris trip coming up soon, so there are several more items. I want more St. Louis. St. Louis are the most popular, I would say, item from Goyard. So I want more St. Louis. I want like a navy blue one. I want a burgundy one. So I plan on picking those up when I go to Paris because of course it's less expensive. But since I was in Chicago, they had the Goyard boutique. It was my first time being at an actual boutique, so I had to pick up something. So I got a little something, kind of like I would say a little souvenir, if you will. So again, that is the Goyard Supplice in the color orange, which I love, a cute little pop of color, especially for summer. And this is how it looks on the interior with the signature Goyard yellow. So yeah, that's essentially it. I wish y'all could, I wish it would zoom in. It does say Goyard there, which it's probably not zooming. But yeah, so it says Goyard, Paris, made in France, girl. So anyway, so that is my little pickup from Neiman Marcus Chicago, from Goyard and Neiman Marcus. in Neiman Marcus, Chicago. So again, love Goyard. It's one and it's not just that. I love the design. I love the simplicity of it. I love the colors and how they're so versatile and still very subtle as it pertains to the monogram, but it's not like in your face, but you can have fun with different colors. And I just love the logo, and I am a huge Goyard fan. So if you are into Goyard as well, comment down below. Let me know about the pieces that you own. If you are looking to get into Goyard and you have any questions, also comment down below. I would love to help you navigate your purchase or answer any questions if I'm able to. But other than that, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you girls and guys in the next video.